It is another cold and rainy day here in Than, and you can't see it, but we'll show you from the drone. Up on the top of that hill right there, behind those trees, is some castle ruins. And we were gonna take a walk up through these vineyards on these hills, get a view over the town. But guys, it's just cold and rainy. So we're getting on the road. We have what we think is a cool destination, and we've got a change of plans.
Big changes up front.
Let's get on the road.
Good morning, everyone. Well, today we are coming to you from Dijon, France. Now, Dijon is famous for, you guessed it, mustard. But it's also the capital city of Burgundy. And I'm not talking about Ron Burgundy, I'm talking about Burgundy wine. So we are still in the western portion of France where they have all the vineyards, but this city is also a UNESCO World Heritage site. And so this place is full of beautiful history. And I'm excited to be able to show it to you today. And hopefully we'll get to go on a little bit of a tour of a mustard factory and learn how that stuff is made and kind of the backdrop for that. But I got a bit of bad news I got to share with you. Last night, Snow was not feeling too well, kind of had a rough night, and anyway, she's gonna sleep in, so you're stuck with me today. So I'm gonna try to entertain you, but we have some fun activities planned today. And I'll give you an update on the weather real quick. It's cold, about 32 degrees, and it's foggy, overcast. Maybe the sun will come out today, we're hoping so. But anyway, let's go enjoy this beautiful city. So you can see the van back there, paid parking lot. It was $4 for, well, they don't charge you after hours. So it's basically $4 for all day. And then overnight, there's no fee. So this is our second day here. We got in there last night. We had a short drive, about a 3-hour drive from Than, where we were in our last video. But anyway, you can kind of see that it's a little foggy and overcast. But we are gonna do what is considered an owl tour. Now, the owl, I guess, is the mascot or what have you of Dijon. And they have all these little spots marked with an owl that take you to sort of the key points of the city. We have some little information, so you're definitely going to get some history today. So let's get on over to the first spot. Welcome to the first spot on the owl tour. I haven't seen the owl, but this is the Darcy Park. And this polar bear sculpture right here, what I've read, is from some famed sculpture guy. So that's that. And there's really nobody in the park today, but it is a nice park. And it looks like they have a big fountain over there and a couple statues and lots of green space. There's some pigeons, and it's a nice park. Welcome to stop number 1. All right, the fountain's not going, but you can look at the mineral deposits behind it where the water's dripped down throughout the years. And then here at the park, in the upper level, looks like there's even more space and a bigger kind of monument up here. Henry Darcy de Dijon. There you go, that's why they call it Darcy Park. All right, the second spot is visible from this garden, this big park. It's the Hotel de la Cloche. Anyway, it's famous establishment in Dijon since the 15th century. And this is the actual palace inaugurated in 1884. Anyway, it's a famous hotel, guys. Look at the cool bell tower up top. All right, stop number 3 is the port of Guillaume. It's a big arc, guys. It reminds me of the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, but on a smaller scale. But this was established, I believe, in the 18th century. And anyway, it's sort of the gateway to the shopping district here in Dijon. And this shopping district is pretty amazing. It's got all the fancy stores, and it is a beautiful walking street. It's mostly, I believe, pedestrian, and really this is called I believe the Street of Liberty or Libertad. But in any event, it is a gorgeous walking street with lots of shopping, and this is the gateway. On to stop number 4. So stop number 4, he's taking me to Granger Square. Now there you can see the post office, I guess, for Dijon. And even though the windows and the signs down below are very modern, you can see it's pretty cool architecture, especially up top. There's a cool tower. There's some cool writing up there and a cool rooster. And there's a big ball here with all sorts of clocks. And I think we can see here right now, it looks like it's almost 6 a.m. in Memphis, which means it's about 1 o'clock here. But I'll give you a panoramic of this little square. There's supposed to be another fancy building here. I'll have to look for it because I don't see it right now. Maybe that's it. And I can definitely see down at the end is the Notre Dame Cathedral, but it is foggy and hard to see, so maybe we'll get a better look when we get up close. Let's hope so. We'll go down here to the end of this square, we'll follow these owls a bit more and see if we can find some more of these fancy buildings they're talking about. It looks like they also have a big library here. I thought the word for library was bibliothèque, but in any event, there is a fancy building right there on the corner. Looks pretty cool. And really all around this city has beautiful fancy buildings, so what am I talking about? And it looks like there's another Galerie Lafayette over there. But let's check out and see where stop number 5 is. Keep this tour moving. So really the first 4 spots were super close together, and it's pretty cool because you have these little owl triangles on the sidewalk, so you can just kind of follow them, and that's kind of fun. But this 5th stop is taking us to a covered market. Now it's only opened a few days a week, and fortunately today is one of them. I love a colorful market, and it is about lunchtime, so I'm hungry. So let's go check this thing out. And voila, we have arrived at the market, but it does not look to be open. Oh, maybe it is. It is open, but it looks like a lot of the stalls are closed or closing, so maybe I got here too late. It looks like I did, unfortunately. I'm sorry, guys. We'll walk through anyway here. You can see it's a covered market, and it looks like they're starting to cover all their stuff up. They got some fruits and veggies. Oh, I'm so sad. I should have gotten here earlier. Here's a booth that's opened up here, and it looks like there's one open over there. Let's go see what we can check out. Cheese. The French cheese is so absolutely delicious, guys, but we're gonna have to walk through the section. It is cold in here, and yep, and they have cleaned up and closed all the booths, turning off all the lights. It is closed. Super sorry, guys. We missed our opportunity there. It looks like it was mostly a food market. I didn't really see any trinkets or anything like that, but then again, I got here late and I missed it. So let's move on to the next spot, or let's find a place to grab something warm to eat and drink. I have a confession to make. I got a little bit lost on the way to my next stop, and to be honest with you, I was kind of disappointed in the whole market thing and thought I'd find a nice baguette and a hot soup or something there. And I just been looking for that in a little nice little French restaurant or something. And to be honest with you, I haven't found that. I see all kinds of different restaurants. But anyway, I'm about to give in and just get something to eat because I'm hungry and I'm almost to the next spot. So if I end up getting something that's not French, you guys gotta promise not to yell at me. So one of the things, a lot of the places, the restaurants have these little whiteboard menus out in front of them, chalkboards if you will. And I think les entrees are like appetizers, les plats are sort of the platters, and then you got desserts. And you can see right there, they've got 3 featured items, but I don't see soup on the menu board. And then they also have the plat du jour, which is kind of their plate of the day, which is supposed to be, you know, the most inexpensive dish. That's 12 euros. And it looks like it's, I'm not even sure, fruits of the sea. And so in any event, this is kind of what I've been crossing. It all looks like nice and delicious food, but a bit more than I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to move through this tour, really just wanting a nice piece of French baguette and some soup. So I'm going to keep looking, and I've almost made it back to the next spot. All right, here we go. There it is, soup du jour. All right, let's go get a soup. It turns out the soup of the day is celery and chestnut soup. Now, I've never had that, but I'm gonna try it anyway. And also, I'm gonna get some escargot because, well, we're in France and I love escargot. And of course, that comes with a baguette. What is this? This is like puffed rice with chocolate?
Yes. It's a Cocoa Pops.
Cocoa Pops.
Yes. Chocolate with...
Can I get it?
Toffee with sugar.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Nice to
you.
meet you. Have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
day.
Thank you, you too.
All right, now that was a delicious lunch. Thank you very much, Sonia, for the delicious food and the hospitality. Really enjoyed the conversation, learning about Dijon and talking about the world. But we popped out and right here into the big square, and it's late in December. They still haven't taken down the Christmas tree yet, but we got to go find our other site and get back on course. Number 6 is the place of Francois Rude. Francois Rude. And so this is a little square right here, and it features a couple of famous artists from the Burgundy region. And so I'm sure one of them made the sculpture up there, and you can see the grapes at his feet. And so this is the Burgundy region, so I'm sure it's symbolic of that. And you can see again some of these beautiful old historic buildings around here. And then this was, I believe, a building that was demolished and then later rebuilt. So you can see it's a contrast from all the stone buildings around, in that it's kind of one of those more timber homes or timber buildings. All right, guys, let's move on to number 7. I see an owl right here. Looks like we're headed this way. As we approach here, I think we're looking for 3 buildings. And so one is a hotel, the Hotel à Bois, and it was from the 13th century. And then the Maison Millard, and it looks like it was constructed in 1560. And then the Hotel Chambellan, and it looks like it was constructed in 1490. So we'll head up here, and I think this is also kind of the square where we're gonna see Notre Dame. Yep. So this is up approaching Notre Dame as well. So number 8 is this beautiful Gothic Notre Dame Cathedral. And it is stunning on both the inside and out. Absolutely amazing. At number 9 is the owl. You know, I'm on the owl tour, guys, and the owl is said, and if you see it, it's kind of worn, and the reason it's worn is because everybody, well, they touch it and they make a wish. And the story is, if you make a wish and you touch the owl, your wish will come true. So I'll share with you my wish on my way to number 10. My sister recently has gotten really, really ill. It's been kind of a sudden thing. She's in the hospital and she's really sick. So I'm just really, really, really wishing for her good health and a speedy recovery and or comfort in her life right now. It's a tough and trying time, and so I definitely wish her peace, to her and my mom and the rest of my family. So please grant my wish, get well. And right around the corner is number 10, Maison Milleray. So this was a filming backdrop. This was a merchant place built in 1483. All right, and then right next door we have number 11, Le Hotel des Vogues, and this was a 17th century townhouse. It's just kind of another old building, I guess. It was a hotel of significance. Stop number 14. Stop number 14. And this is the Museum of Beaux-Arts. Musée des Beaux-Arts. Now I'm hoping it's opening, and I'm hoping it's free, because I'm cold. And for me, to be honest with you, it's a lot easier to look at stuff than to learn about stuff and tell you about it. So let's go look at some stuff and see if we can't get warmed up. To the museum. Let's go check this out. This is clearly some kind of big important battle between the French and somebody else. Look at that. Can you imagine the horses crossing the river, all the smoke, swords, gunfights? Wow. So we just came out of sort of a conference room with all sorts of giant art paintings from I don't know what era, but this room right here, the fabrics and the decorations and trim on the wall is fascinating, and it's definitely a different style of painting. It's kind of one thing to see these buildings here when you kind of see some pictures in here. It looks like you kind of on the bottom have a stone mason there, and you kind of just see a building out in the open there, whereas now they're all surrounded by the whole entire city and all the other buildings. It's pretty intense. A tour through the museum just really is a reminder of kind of how overwhelmed I am with France. And let me explain. There is so much history here. There are so many things to see. And you know, you start learning about these kings and queens and fiefdoms, and you know, you're dating back to 800s, 1000s, 1500s, wars, territories changing hands, all these beautiful structures being constructed, and these pieces of art that signify it all. And to be honest with you, it's just overwhelming. My brain can't comprehend all this stuff, but I do enjoy looking at it and staring at it and contemplating what happened, trying to imagine what era this different type of stuff took place in, what was going on in their minds at the time, as they built these giant churches and as other people are coming in. So there's a fight for spirituality, there's a fight for territories. There's just so much, guys, and it's beautiful and I'm enjoying it, but it's overwhelming, and it's really kind of hard to describe because I don't really understand it completely. I hope you understand what I'm saying and just kind of enjoy seeing what I'm seeing, because it is very, very interesting. As I told you while I was in the museum, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed with all this. And to be honest with you, even though this little owl tour has a nice little route to take you through all these historic buildings, it's 22 different spots and there's so many cool things between. I'm gonna end it right here. I believe this is number 15, 16, and 17 we're looking at. Looks like churches, libraries, hotels, palaces, old important buildings. I'm gonna let your imagination take over as I video these last few churches. Just know that Dijon is an amazing place. I think they call it the city of 1,000 steeples. There's tons of big kind of Gothic churches or old style churches, big, huge, ornate palace buildings and government buildings and all types of things. There's wonderful shopping here. There's tons of great food choices, and it's really a place that I would like to spend more time in and learn more about. I think on a return to France, after we have to get out of the Shenzhen, maybe we'll come back here. But I am chomping at the bit for this mustard tour. And so we're gonna have to go to another city to see that. There is a museum here, but where they actually make it is in another city, and so we're gonna go see that. Good morning, guys. I did not want to leave Dijon, or I should say the Burgundy region, without showing you mustard. This is where mustard was born and from. However, the best museum is outside of Dijon in a town called Bonn. Now, I'm gonna go over there and check it out and see. I would love to show you this little town. I think it is beautiful, but we're moving on. We have some special people we're gonna meet up with, kind of on the other side of France. So we have a big adventure to get to. And also, I should say that snow is not feeling well still. So it's been a few days. So to be honest with you, I'm gonna run over there, check this place out. Maybe I can get in and do a quick tour. Maybe not, we'll see. But this is a mustard factory and I'm excited because I love mustard. So let's go check this place out. All right, unfortunately I was unable to get in on the tour, but the store itself is absolutely fascinating. And they have all sorts of mustards. I was not able to do the tour, but I think I got something. Well, second place, let's call it that. So here you can see they have this big sampling table with all the different kinds of mustards. Anyway, I'm gonna try a few of these. I'll show you what they look like and I'll let you know what I think. Right, this one's some sort of wine. And if you can see it right here, it's kind of pink. So we'll take a little taste of this. So I can definitely taste the berry in there, almost like a currant berry or a raspberry. Not a taste you can expect you normally get in mustard, but it's really good. All right, this is definitely a honey mustard right here. All right, you can see the honey mustard. Now I can tell you, so far all these mustards have definitely had a lot of bite, very spicy. I can tell you the mustards really cut through and are very, very strong, and meaning for me, delicious. I love them. I shouldn't eat breakfast this morning. All right, let's not try all of these. Let's try a couple more, guys. So this is a provincial one. It looks like has some kind of mix of peppers. We're gonna try that one. This has got some kind of Japanese fruit. So let's try these. All right, we just get a little dab. A little dab will do you. Definitely more like you can definitely taste the peppers, like maybe a cayenne pepper or red bell pepper, but still in the background, the pepper is subtle, and the mustard really just cuts through the vinegar and the mustard. Absolutely delicious. Let's get into this next one. This one with the Japanese fruit. Show you the Japanese fruit mustard. Cheers. Eesh. Ooh. Ah. That one burned a little bit, but in the backdrop is a little bit of citrus, just a little bit. But I'm telling you, these mustards is almost like kind of horseradish. I mean, the mustard really cuts through. I told Snow I wasn't going to spend a lot of money on mustard, but I might have to retract that statement. This is good stuff. You can definitely, the mustard cuts through. So the flavors they add to it are very subtle and give it a difference, except when you get into like the honey mustards and some of the red mustards or sweet mustards, the berry mustards. That really cuts through, and the sweetness really cuts through and kind of calms down the spicy mustard flavor. But I like the spice and I like the kick. So I'm gonna get a little sample pack for our friends that we're gonna meet here very soon, and I'm gonna pick out a couple for the van. So anyway, very cool. Now this company does more than makes mustard, they also make pickles. And this right here is a big pickle sorter. And it's really cool because as they dump the pickles in, if you can see this big giant tumbler, the tumbler just turns around like maybe like a dryer vent or something like that. And the slots as it goes down get bigger. So basically the smaller pickles fall through the first bin, and then as they go down, the bigger pickles work their way down till they eventually can come out the slot, and then the oversized pickles get kicked out at the end. Now I was told that they don't make the pickles here anymore, that they're made at their factory in the south of France by their recipe. This facility is small and they had to make a decision on what they were going to do. So this facility here focuses on the mustard. But they have all sorts of things, different kinds of honeys, and as I said, the pickles and the mustards and a couple other artisanal items. But really a fascinating place, and a place I would love to have been able to do the tour had we had more time and if Snow was feeling better. It's something actually as we pass through France we may come back and do and see this town and see this region, because it's just fascinating. So even though I didn't take a tour, I learned a lot about mustard. The mustard grows in seeds, and the mustard that they use here all comes from seeds, mustard seeds that were grown here in the province of Burgundy. And there's 3 different kinds. There's black, there's brown, and there's more like a blonde seed. And they have different flavors, which each of them, some of them are stronger than others. They use primarily black and brown seeds here. And it's just a really, really cool place. And the people were super, super nice. But I'm going to head back to the van. I think we're going to get out on the road. We're going to another region of France, so we have some driving to do. And as I told you earlier, we're going to meet up with some special people. I think this is some kind of mustard press right here. Look at that. But this is where we're going to wind the video, guys, down, guys. So thank you so much for joining along, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.
If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys!